This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening and welcome to the iRacing Esports Network and welcome to Apex Racing TV for the BSR MX5 Pro Series from Watkins, Glen. I am Chaz Draycott alongside Alex Simpson in the booth this evening. Alex, this was the first place I actually commentated on back in, well, about May last year actually, so quite fitting to come back here for the start of the next mini-season. How do you reckon tonight's going to go?
Yeah, what a great race circuit. I mean, this is going to be an absolutely fantastic race. I mean, lots of slipstream, of course, goes without saying. Some great battles, some good overtakes. We're going to have some wrecks. Always happens at Watkins. Armco very, very close to the circuit as well, so expect to see cars bounce and ricochet and perhaps a few big ones through the course of this meeting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love this place. It's just made for really, really good racing. So all you can say about it, you know, throw the MX5 that's also made for really, really good racing. We're going to have an epic meeting, I'm sure.
And of course, this is really a circuit that's very difficult to get a lap together on. There's so many tricky corners that are quite sort of long corners that you have to really try and carry as much momentum through as you can. It's quite difficult to judge going into a lot of these, especially into the boot section as well. It's really easy to go in a bit too hot and, you know, try and light it up on exit a bit too early. It certainly is one that takes a lot of focus, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you can perhaps say about it is, you know, it's a high-speed circuit. The MX5, of course, it's not a high-speed car, is it, really? So, fairly soft. So, like you say, it's perhaps not made for these fast sweeping corners, and it can be easy to, like you say, just lose control a little bit. But still, it does handle quite well, and I feel like Watkins, it's got enough of momentum that they would really have to do it, you know, get it seriously wrong to actually trip over and spin the car on the exits. Perhaps maybe, I'm thinking, what is it, the toe in the boot section and boot, or the heel, sorry.
Yeah.
Those two corners perhaps a bit tricky, slowest corners on the circuit. We might see a few people just get that a little bit wrong. But yeah, I mean, I'm quite looking forward to this. 4 great races, of course, tonight. Return of the MX5 Pro Series. Of course, we had the little mini season just gone. And actually, talking about that, I do believe I might even have the current championship standings. No, they're not working. They're not coming up. What's going on?
Oh, good.
Epic fail. Well, I've got the AM.
Oh, there you go. There's the AM ones then. Joe McDonald leading the way. Mick Barry, second for Result Clothing. Stephen Minton, it's very close between those boys actually there in second and third. Well, as you can see there, Joe McDonald doing a great job at the top of the standings there. Billy Rose and Graham Sefford rounding out your top 5. Graham Sefford actually, from Year 1 Racing. Year 1 actually supplied one of the Le Mans teams with some flip-flops for the event. I saw a Facebook post about it earlier, so cracking bit of networking by them boys, obviously getting noticed by big teams, of course. There are a couple of things, of course, Alex, tonight that are quite new. There's updated decal layers for these guys. So they've got different number boards that I spent a bit of time making, because last time it wasn't completely clear on who was pro and who was am from the side or the rear, so they've updated that a little bit. And of course, on the part of iRacing, as we see the pro standings now, Kip Stevens top of the pile with only 7 points back to Jack Ashton. That's it's quite a bit closer than I was expecting it to be, in all honesty. Dave Hampson third for SimLab. That's quite an under the radar performance, isn't it, Alex? Because he's not. I mean, we've said it before about Dave, so no offence to the bloke, but he's not really been setting the world alight, has he? But he's obviously doing the job.
Yeah, exactly. Like what Nick was doing at the start of the season. Obviously Nick missed a few races, that's why he's lost a bunch of places and points. But yeah, Kip really been doing the same thing, just putting those consistent results in. Hampson doing the same. Ashton's been very quick, but perhaps had a couple of sort of bad races, which is why he's not above those guys. Same with Brian Holmes and the two Cooper lads there as well. So yeah, I think just goes to show we're what are we? I want to say we're a quarter of the way through, or is it actually a third? I think it's actually a third of the way through, isn't it? Because we're in 3 seasons, aren't we? So
yeah, it's very close.
Yeah, it just shows that it's going to be close throughout the season. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and these boys can't really let anything slip from meeting to meeting. Another thing, of course, that is new on the part of iRacing since the new build is actually motion blur. To a lot of people, it might not mean a lot. I mean, to people like myself, I do a lot of screenshots and imagery, so it's nice that iRacing provides a bit of that before I sort of do any sort of post effects or anything on any pictures. But it actually looks really nice, to be fair. Have you sampled much of it, Alex?
I have to say I haven't. I only did the update yesterday about midnight, as I had to do a broadcast. But yeah, so I haven't really had a chance to have a look. And I don't even think it's probably enabled on this configuration setting that I've got for the broadcast. It maybe, but it maybe not.
It is very subtle, to be fair. I've noticed that if you take the cars from like a chase camera or something, you can see obviously the scenery blurring around it. It's just one of those subtle differences that just makes all the sort of, I don't know, it sort of makes you realise how good it looks these days, especially with. Sorry,
you are right. You can see it. Just a very, very split second there. I brought it up on screen, and you're right. You could see it. So yeah, I think nice little touch. It needed to be added. I think a lot of people doing those nice screenshots, and it just aids you guys in knocking something like that together.
And of course, with the it even works with the TV cameras as well. I was doing a broadcast yesterday evening and noticed that when I was flicking from car to car, if they were in the same camera shot, it'd flick from one car and pan very quickly to the left to lock onto the next one, and even then it affects it. So it adds that little bit more realism, and it's just nice to see. As the cars are finishing qualifying now, and the troll himself, Kip Stevens, is the last car out on track, and he's doing 20 mile an hour apparently at the moment. So there he is. He's making sure that the session goes on for as long as possible here. Because for anyone that doesn't know, within iRacing in a session such as this in qualifying, once the last car gets off the track, then that's when the session finishes. There is a sort of a time limit anyway, really, from after the session finishes, but Kip is making sure that everyone has a nice little break between qualifying and it actually going to the race session. He'll probably disappear any moment, to be fair, probably in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes, is it? Or is it 3 minutes? I think it's 5 minutes, isn't it? That it will time out, so you've got a certain amount of time to finish a lap, but yeah, not really sure. Make it 3 minutes.
Yeah, you got plenty of airtime then.
So what he's after as a championship leader. Just wanted to show what he was capable, driving slow as well as driving fast.
And now comes the time where I have to do one of my very fast grid readouts, because we've got a 49 car grid. So it's Charlie Summers and Brian Holmes on the front row. Charlie Summers taking pole quite late in the session there. Adam McNally and Stephen Baxter on the second row. Dave Hampson and Nils Carstensen on row 3. Ashley Beard is 7th with Jason Cooper 8th. Luke Cooper, his teammate, is 9th. Jack Ashton rounding out the top 10. There's Jamie Ayres and Steve Hefford, SimLab teammates, 11th and 12th. They're followed by their other teammates, Peter Van Gool and Nick McCarron, 13th and 14th. Another teammate of them, Cesare Rizzo, 15th. Abdulkir Al Amri is the top AM in 16th place, 17th Carl Hardy, 18th Jeroen Ursum, 19th Alex River, and 20th is Carl Jacquelet. Max Bure, I'm really sorry if I've got your name wrong, is 21st. Then it's the 101 car of Craig Cameron in 22nd. Flying through the rest then, it is Scott Malcolm, Charles Kellyman, James McRitchie, Mikey Key, David Ayres, Kip Stevens, Adrian Hendy, Steve Hansford, Chris Vigray, Craig Jones, Max Wright, Ruta Van Essen, Benjamin Mears, Joe McDonald, Steve Cooley, Graham Sessford, Dale Bennett and Martin Sampson is 40th. And it's Alex Jenny, Stuart Dick, Christian Brown, Roy Viverke, Rob Graham, Billy Rose, Andy Maxwell, Josh Rayfield and Liam Silkstone brings up the back of the field.
Top job as always, mate.
Thank you. I just muted my mic then for the massive sigh that I just let out after doing that. But it's exciting to be back in the booth, of course. 4 races, as Alex said, for you tonight. And look at the size of that grid. This has become a fantastic series. You can see there the Pro and Am classifications at the top, which you'll see on the left-hand side when the timing tower is up with the blue and green strips. There is the track map for you as well, showing you the boot layout that we're doing tonight. And you can see, of course, the different sectors involved as well. The cars do have, as you can see from Brian Holmes' car in the bottom left of your screen, they do actually have little windscreen banners with blue bits on and green bits on for Pro and Am. There are also blue and green strips on the number boards for that as well, on the sides of the car and on the rear number plate. But here we go then, for the first race of the evening. We are away.
There's a jump start in the background, right at the back. I'm not sure who that was, but that's going to be costly. We'll see if they get a penalty or not. Oh,
Charlie
look
Summers.
at how busy that looks.
Frightening. Charlie Summers blocks off in the first section there. Just covering the inside. As they all filter their way through there. Looks like they're doing a fine job as always here. Doesn't look like there's too much chaos going on, to be fair. As you see now, the slipstream is coming into effect straight away for these boys.
Yeah, good first sector. Can't see anything on the on our info panel to say that there's any mistakes. Event viewer, that's what I was looking for. But yeah, so excellent start to this this part of the season here at Watkins as well. Notorious for first lap incidents. We're not through it yet, as they come out of the carousel for the first time. This is where it gets a little tricky.
Keep it nice and clean. Well, I'll say that. One of the Excite cars runs wide there. Pretty sure that was Adam McNally. He's got his teammate Ashley Beard involved as well. In the lead now is Brian Holmes. Charlie Summers has gone back down a position to second. Dave Hampson in third place. Right behind him is Stephen Baxter. He's apparently racing for Swift Cooper Esports this evening. Getting back involved in the wonderful world of sim racing is Steve. Not seen a massive amount from him actually in recent times. I think he's got a V-Racer livery on that car, not quite sure. Black and orange on my screen anyway, so apologies if it's not on whatever you're watching at home. But we've got a nice little group of 4 here, Alex, and this is often what this track and, well, this series brings together for us. There's nice little scraps at the front for the overall win.
Yeah, good first lap. And you're right, I think that is a V-Racer livery. So either it wasn't in the pack or it was one of the two, but that's what he's running. And of course, I have been seeing Steve on a regular basis on Thursday. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to race the last 3 meetings on BSR TC, which is what, you know, this series really was born for. I mean, this was put as a casual series to have a bit of fun on the Tuesday. That does not look like fun, as Charlie Summers loses the back end through turn 1 into the Armco. Massive damage on the front of that car. It's kept going, but I think that's pretty much his race now.
I think there was contact with Hampson, you know. I think Hampson might have just helped him slightly around there. Baxter's now trying to make the most of this and go alongside down the back straight. Getting the slipstream off Brian Holmes there. Baxter's going to go through the middle here. Holmes is on the grass on the left-hand side of the circuit. Loses out and goes to third, but there's 3 Excite cars together there. Baxter around the outside into the race lead. Great stuff on his return to the series. I actually think it's his overall debut in the series, to be honest. I don't remember seeing him racing it before, so...
He definitely has, yeah, definitely. I've seen him in this car and on a Tuesday. But, yeah, way before it was a Pro Series, I'm sure. I might be wrong, but I'm almost convinced he is.
I'm going to go with you being correct there, Alex. I'm not going to doubt you for a second. Mr. Baxter in the lead then. Very close behind with Hampson, and the other Excite cars are in there as well with Adam McNally moving across on Jason Cooper, who's up 3 places so far. Jason's been a very dominant force in the championship so far. Into the heel of the boot then. Hampson's now on the outside of McNally. There's a bit of contact by the look of it, but neither of them are turned around. You can see the timing tower on the left hand side there. Don't forget Blue Pro, Green RM. Carl Jacquelet is leading the Jacquelet. Oh, how did he tell us to say it last time? It is Jacquelet, isn't it?
Jacquelet, yeah.
I do apologise, Carl. It's Al Amri in second then. Hardy there. There's Charles Kellyman into the final section of the lap. Very tricky couple of corners here, Alex, because the curbs are very high and you want to try and take as many liberties as you can going around the outside and, you know, using that runoff, but even that's quite bumpy, and in something like a GT car, you might get spat out into the wall quite easily there.
I was just about to say exactly the same thing. You catch that final curb on the inside there. It's so easy just for the car just to bounce and track out wide and into the wall, and you pick up a bit of suspension damage, and trying to nurse that for the rest of the race. Never easy.
Like I say, because it's a high-speed track as well, you want to squeeze every thousandth of a second out of your lap time, keep your momentum up. So it's very difficult to compromise that going into the corner. You can see people's iRatings and licenses in the battle box on the right hand side there. A couple of A's and B's. 3 wide here with Jason Cooper in the middle of the Excite cars. I don't quite think Adam McNally knew that Ashley Beard was on the outside there. He's got it sorted now. Beard is just in front. Great battling by these boys again. They're just carrying on where they left off after the last mini-season. There's just absolutely no remorse from any of them, but they're keeping it very clean so far. But they usually do in race 1, don't they? And then the more reverse grids we have, the more chaos we have.
Yeah, that is usually the way it pans out. But yeah, like you say, a lot of respect for everybody out there. I think everyone would agree with me on this field that there's fierce rivalries on the circuit, but yeah, if we were all to have a meet-up, it'd be one heck of a session, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. It definitely would be. It'd be a right good laugh to watch, though. Brian Holmes now in the race lead. Dave Hampson right on his bumper. Stephen Baxter doing the same with this. Look at that train of cars as they come out of there. Brilliant. Absolutely awesome. Looking at the timing screen, it's all completely red all the way down to 12th place. So these guys are not letting off at all. Hampson and Holmes breaking away slightly here, but obviously the slipstream will put pay to that in just a couple of corners time. Nice and close to the wall there as they get onto this straight. Looking down the order, just see if anybody's dropped off at the moment. Looks like Andy Maxwell and Rob Graham haven't quite made it round a couple of laps now. Stuart Dick has lost a couple of positions as well. Charlie Summers is obviously down there after that incident earlier. Craig Cameron has just gone flying down the order as well while we look at the screen. Not quite sure what's happened to him. Oh, he's stopped on the straight. Odd place to be stopped, to be fair. There's going to be contact here, isn't there? So who's he in there with? Who's that on the outside? Didn't get the number. Oh, there's just a bit of a nudge. And oh, wow, that's a big shunt. They both got very lucky not to hit anything. Cameron's car, it just sort of looked like he'd let go of all controls and it had just sort of rolled to a stop against the wall, didn't it?
Yeah, strange. Very strange.
I think it was the other, well, he's 101. I think it was Max Bure in the 201 car that he got involved with there. It was a livery I hadn't seen before. It must have been one of the new guys. Look at this lot. The Excite car's hunting in packs as always. Stephen Baxter dipping a wheel onto the grass on the outside. He's got McNally just at the back of this here with, that's Nils Carstensen. Funny little side note, Nils Carstensen made an absolute idiot of me in the BSR, not the BSR MX5, sorry, the official iRacing MX5s around the Nordschleife a while ago. Made me look like I was in reverse. He's an incredibly quick driver. He knows what he's doing. But most of these boys do. That's why we get such good battles. As Hampson and Holmes really having to go at each other here. Through the left-hander they go. You want to be careful not to dip a wheel onto the grass on the exit there because you're on full throttle and the car will definitely spin. Well, Baxter's got a bit of an easy ride now at the moment if Hampson keeps holding these boys up for this scrap, but we've got a great train of about 8 or 9 cars here from second place back.
Yeah,
and if you're at the back...
I can't help but think that one of them is going to get through, or at least Hampson's going to catch back up as well in the draft. Just a half a second, you can see it on the relative box. By the time they get to the carousel, I think that's going to be
Dutch for a
far
second.
less. Yes.
Or Sean Connery. So Hefford's at the back of this. Now, at the back of a train like this, what are you thinking at this point, do you reckon?
Push hard, try and get by, you know? You just got to take every opportunity you can when you're stuck in these trains. Got to be aggressive. It's the only way you get forward. Everybody's slipstreaming everybody. Here we go, talking about being aggressive.
Oh, 4 wide. Oh.
Cooper on the inside. I think he's going to get it in the end. Although Hampson,
How has
excuse me.
Hampson held that momentum round there? That was brilliant stuff from him. Jason Cooper just got his nose in front, but Hampson's going to be on the inside now as they go into the boot section. They're 2x2x2x2. Sounds like a really bad song. Summers is... Oh, not Summers, sorry. Cooper on the grass on the outside now. Just behind them, Brian Holmes is trying to get in on this as well. There's Jack Ashton down the inside as well, of course. He's in the fight for the championship lead at the moment with Kip Stevens. Kip Stevens down in 17th, so this is important for Ashton. He's up into 4th place. Jason Cooper leading the way. Steve Hefford in the middle of this as well. He's gone up to 8th place now ahead of Nils Carstensen. Hampson still hanging it round the outside. Almost getting a push from one of the Excite cars.
Cooper gets the overlap now. He's able to consolidate. That's good from Holmes as well, just diving up the inside. Hampson was trying to take the wide line and get the better exit. Didn't see that Holmes was just poking his nose in there.
The awareness from these guys is great here. So the fact that they're all doing this so closely and not making any major contact. I had to say it, didn't I? There goes Dave Hampson around, unfortunately. Only the tiniest bit of contact, though, to be fair. Real shame for Dave, though, because that was a great scrap up to that point. But we're lucky that it hasn't taken any of the rest of them with them. So Brian Holmes and Jack Ashton are going to be working hard now to try and get onto the back of Jason Cooper. We've only got 4 minutes of the race to go, so probably another 2 laps after this. Stephen Baxter still in with a shout here, though, in my opinion, Alex. I think he could be one to watch for the win overall if they can make sure that Cooper doesn't run away.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely looking very comfortable. Cooper, Holmes, Ashton, they're all quick though. Up 21 places in the background as well. Alex Cherney, of course, with a penalty at the start of this one.
Oh, through the middle, Brian Holmes. Great from Brian there. Awesome commitment on the brakes as well. Brakes nice and late.
3 wide as well. They've given up on the Noah's Ark impressions.
They really have. Either that or they're just trying to expedite things. Ashton's around the outside now of Cooper. They're all just trying to hug the optimal line on the inside there. But Ashton's now going to be inside. That's another thing about Watkins, really. The corners really do alternate left, right, left, right. So, you know, when you make a move on people as we go on board with the very purple roll cage of Jack Ashton.
Oh, slow exit from Holmes as well. Cooper's surely going to get the run. Ashton not really got anywhere to go at all. You know, he's just got to kind of sit tight. Maybe he'll try and go around the outside of Cooper, but I think it's Cooper that's going to, very, very deep for Holmes as well. It's going to compromise his exit somewhat, but he did get on the power quite early, got the car rotated, still able to hold on for the moment. He was good there, just a lap inside. Surprise, there's Baxter.
Well, that was a great move. Just saw him go across the rear view mirror of Jack Ashton there from the onboard shot. That was awesome. Just as Terry Turbo has said in the chat, this is awesome racing, and this is what the MX5 series is like. McNally out of shape there. Hefford goes to avoid. Really, really well held by McNally there, but this is an absolute highlight for me. This, Alex, this is just what this series is all about. It's fantastic, this one.
Yeah, just look at that interval calculator there. I mean, there's just no space between them. That little bit between Rizzo is just, you know, top 11. It's just, you know, as I think Paul Smith has said, you can throw a tea cozy over them that close at the moment. It's just ridiculous.
The Yorkshire tea cozy, of course. Nearly, there's a bit of an overlap there. Jason Cooper's got to be really careful here. But now Baxter's got nowhere to go if Cooper holds this to the inside, and then Holmes stays over to the middle, and that's exactly what they've done. The Excite boys have boxed him in. They'll be communicating over the radio now, shouting at each other. One of them's got the slipstream. That's Adam McNally. There's 4 of them in here. So they've got the numbers game sorted, but can they get the track position and work together? Holmes is round the outside. But Jason Cooper's still at the front of this field. He's doing an absolutely mega job of it so far. The Excite cars are in diamond formation at the moment, mimicking the Red Arrows. Look at that, they're nearly 4 wide going into there. It's just, this is bonkers. I don't know how they're all still on track. Oh, into the wall. That was, I believe that was Luke Cooper in 10th place.
He survives to fight again. What we've got, a minute to go. Sneak through, this is going to be close. This might be the final lap of the race.
Yeah, it is going to be very close, this one. It'll be down to whether iRacing the sim itself chooses whether it's the last lap or not. Josh Robbins in the chat just saying, can you pause the clock and not tell anyone? I'm all for that. This is absolutely incredible stuff. Oh, Jason Cooper's run wide out of there. He's got to be careful, of course. You get incident points in iRacing if you don't already know. And this series is limited. I believe they get 20. So you can't be pushing your luck too much over the course of a race. 20 doesn't sound like it'd be too much of an issue, but when you're really pushing like these guys are, you get the odd off track. It is quite easy to rack them up.
13 seconds to go. I think they're going to get across the line, or it'll be close enough that they'll allow them one more lap. Let's hope people are not too short on fuel, because that could spoil the party. 3 seconds. Where's the man? He's not waving his checkered flag, so indeed we've got one more lap of this.
Thank you, iRacing. The sun comes out for a second as well, and then goes back in, but look at them all taking the chances, running really wide out of there, but Jason Cooper's made a bit of a gap here now. Oh, Baxter side by side with Ashton. He managed to prise the door open there. On board with Brian Holmes then, looking at the battle in front. Ashton, though, because he's on the inside going up there, manages to just get in front, but Baxter's now on the inside. Got a nice little look at the number boards on the side of the doors there. A bit more straightforward than the other ones were. Not that that matters right now. Look at this scrap. There's McNally pushing Baxter along on the right-hand side. Jason Cooper. Oh, Holmes is deep on the brakes. I was just about to say Jason Cooper needs to be as late on the brakes as possible here, and he did a great job of it. Uses all the road. Keeps the momentum up. Brian Holmes goes to the left. There's clearly a car on his right. Oh, there it is. It's Steve Effendy's around. It's so difficult to save. He's in the wall and he's on the brakes. It's a real shame for Brian Holmes. But he keeps it from coming back on track and causing a bigger incident. Back to the front, though. It's still Cooper, Ashton, Baxter and McNally. Cooper seemed to get a really a wide exit there. Not sure whether that's going to compromise his speed, but only a couple of corners to go, and even McNally could probably still win this one. Alex, this is awesome.
Yeah, being aggressive as well is Adam, looking every corner on this lap. I think he's going to have a chance now. Baxter diving to the inside, and Ashton having to go very defensive as well. Cover that off. Late move, late defence, but all perfectly fine according to the rules of the series. Baxter up the inside. That's tasty move. It's only going to be for second, that's for sure. It guarantees second place at best. So there's no way. Oh, one spat out wide. Can easily happen. It's into the wall. Is he going to hold on to it? It's going to lose a whole bunch of places. But Cooper coming across. What a great race.
Ashton and McNally round out your podium. Steve Hefford grabs fourth in the end. That's a brilliant result. But yeah, real shame for Stephen Baxter there. But they were wheel to wheel, and it was just a case of two of the wheels, just make a bit of contact and they can spit the cars out. Jason Cooper there doing the very much deserved donuts. What a great drive from him. 7th place is gained to win that one. And he's back to winning ways, Alex. He's been dominating quite a lot already. Carl Jacquelet there wins the AM category for year one racing. Very well done to Carl. The team will be happy with that. Scott Malcolm finishes second in the AM category. And Charles Kellyman, on his debut in the series, gets an AM podium. So very well done to him. The class pole sitter, Abdulkir Al Amri, didn't actually finish in that one. He was a couple of minutes down there, actually 4 minutes, so maybe 2 laps down. But yeah, what a great first race for this new mini season. That was very entertaining. I'd happily watch 3 more of them if the boys want to do that.
Yeah, let's hope exactly that they do that.
Another little new thing for this as well is some of the drivers have their own images that they can upload for us. Jason Cooper there in a race car of sorts, in real life, of course. There goes Charlie Summers joining in the celebrations there.
I'm not sure he was celebrating.
No, more just sort of making sure the car gets back to the pits as quickly as possible, but Jason will be loving that. I'm loving the donuts. He's doing a cracking job of it, isn't he? Oh, there we go. He stops as soon as I say that. But yeah, what a race. That was mega to watch, and there are the results. But, well, doesn't that results table just show you the ways of this championship, how the teams that are the strongest? You've got Swift Cooper Esports. Jason Cooper himself takes race 1. Jack Ashton and Adam McNally for Excite iRacing, 2nd and 3rd. Steve Hefford for SimLab is in 4th. Ashley Beard in 5th for Excite. And then it's Jamie Ayres and Peter Van Gool 6th and 7th. We didn't really see a lot of them, to be fair. The battles were just that good at the front that, they just sneaked through and got the results.
I feel bad for not covering some of the stuff a bit further back, you know, the AM race and all, but you just couldn't take a second away from that battle, and that was just so good.
That was
So-
incredible stuff. Luke Cooper in 8th, even after hitting the wall. Stephen Baxter ended up finishing 9th, so good result for him. Cesare Rizzo will be happy with a top 10 as well. And Nick McCarron is in 11th. Nils Carstensen 12th. James McRitchie in 13th. Kip Stevens up to 14th place. Carl Jacquelet, as we said, wins the AM category ahead of his teammate Alex Rivette. Scott Malcolm 17th. And Alex Cherney is in 18th place. Then it's Charles Kellyman. Great first podium on his debut in the series in the AM category. Craig Jones is 20th with Benjamin Mears 21st, Mikey Key 22nd. Then you've got Max Wright, Billy Rose and Christopher Vigra. I'm really sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Adrian Hendy is 26th, Steve Hansford is 27th with Joe McDonald, Roy Viverke and Jeroen Ursum bringing up your top 30. You've then got Stephen Cooley, Martin Sampson, Josh Rayfield, David Ayres and Liam Silkstone. Graham Sesford is in 36th place with Stuart Dick in 37th. You then have... It's just coming up as Wouter on my screen, but I know it's got it's Wouter Van Essen in 38th. Then it's Brian Holmes 39th, Dale Bennison in 40th, Dave Hampson is 41st with Charlie Summers in 42nd. And then the cars more than one lap down are Christian Brown, Abdulkir Al Amri, Carl Hardy, Craig Cameron, Max Beret, Rob Graham and Andy Maxwell. And we've had a couple of guesses on the reverse grid wheel. Jeroen Ursum is going for 30. And Mick Barry has gone for full -2. So, for the first time in this mini-season, Alex, I'll leave the honours up to you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much. Here we go, then. Looks like it might be a small one, and it is the smallest we can get. 15th.
Wow, considering the size of the grid, that really is a small reverse grid. That will put the Race 1 AM winner, Carl Jacquelet, on pole position, so he'll be very happy with that. That's surely got to give him a chance at winning the AM category in this one. Kip Stevens will be second on the grid, James McRitchie in third, then it'll be Nils Carstensen and Nick McCarron, round of 90 top 5. So if you join Alex and I in about 10-15 minutes time on the iRacing Esports Network, we'll bring you race 2 out of 4 this evening from the BSR MX5 Pro Series. Don't go away. Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and the iRacing Esports Network for the BSR MX5 Pro Series from Watkins, Glen. I'm Chaz Draycott alongside Alex Simpson in the booth tonight, and we're here for race 2 out of 4 this evening. We had an incredible race 1 there though, Alex, and probably some of the best racing we've seen since covering this championship, to be honest. And what else can you expect from Watkins? It was awesome.
We said exactly that, I think, at the start of this meeting, that we were going to have some great racing. That is exactly what we got. 2, 3 wide in places. Yeah, more of the same, please, guys. Small reverse grid, so shouldn't be too bad. I think, you know, we see most of the craziness when it's massive grid. So let's hope for a really, really good race 2.
And of course, the can't remember what I was going to say. I won't lie to you, that completely went out of my head then. They didn't get any massive incidents. There was no sort of pile-ups or anything. There was the odd car off here and there, a bit of contact. We saw a crash on the straight, but luckily the 2 guys involved didn't hit anybody else. And it was just, you know, it was just a nice, consistent, clean race. Really good battling from everybody. And obviously the majority of the field got across the line, and that's what matters with these things. Everyone trying to score as many points as possible. Carl Jacquelet then, the only AM you see on your screen there, designated by the green strip next to his name, is on pole, alongside championship leader Kip Stevens. Then it's James McRitchie, Nils Carstensen, Nick McCarron, Cesare Rizzo, Stephen Baxter, Luke Cooper, Peter Van Gool, Jamie Ayres, Ashley Beard, and Steve Hefford is 12th. And I've noticed that there's a very important name that isn't there in that list. Peter Van Gool, Jamie Ayres, Ashley Beard, Steve Hefford, Adam McNally, Jack Ashton, Jason Cooper there, 15th place. He is the race 1 winner. I just got a bit confused then. I saw Luke Cooper and I thought it wasn't Luke that won the first race, so ignore me. Scott Malcolm 17th, Alex Cheney 18th, Charles Kellyman is 19th, and Craig Jones rounds out your top 20. You can see the rest of them filtering through there. I've been told that I'm pronouncing Wouter wrong. It's Wouter. It's Wouter Van Essen. I do apologise, mate. He's 38th on the grid. And this field of 49 cars for the second time tonight in the BSR MX5 Pro Series is away. The green flag waves. Carl Jacquelet, the AM, leads them down to turn 1. Kip Stevens on the outside, James McRitchie on the inside for asymmetric. Onto the brakes they go. And Nils Carstensen diving right down the inside of Kip Stevens there to take third place, I do apologise. You can see the massive snake of cars going up through the S's on the track map. No real sort of first corner heroes there. Alex, car in 48th place, Carl Hardy, is a bit further down behind the order. Billy Rose hasn't taken the start of the race, it seems. He's just coming out of the pits now. So he must have had a pit lane start penalty or something, but nearly 3 wide for the lead here. Carl Jacquelet's on the inside, McRitchie through the middle. Nils Carstensen's on the outside, and Kip Stevens is there in 4th. McRitchie stays in the lead. Carstensen around the outside. Fantastic commitment from him. They're still side by side into the boot section. You can see another swarm of XI Energy iRacing cars in the middle of the field there. That's Ashton, Beard, and McNally. Jacquelet's hung out to dry around the outside there. Oh, one of the SimLab cars very out of shape there. I think it was Jamie Ayres. Full commitment there, wasn't it? Nothing but. He just kept his foot in. Absolutely loving it. Cesare Rizzo's in this battle as well here now. And Stephen Baxter is back up there as well. He's in 5th place already. He's gained 2 places. So he's in with a shout, getting some really good points on his return to the championship here tonight. Nils gets it turned in, seems to be a little bit out of shape there, and Jacquelet's made the most of that. And he's gone back up into 2nd. There's a great group of cars following him through. You can see some of the result clothing cars there filtering their way through the heel of the boot. Carl Jacquelet then up to 2nd, but James McRitchie now, he's going to be wanting to run away with this. It's a very striking livery on the year 1 car, isn't it, Alex? It looks even better than it did last season. Yeah, well, you just can't miss it, can you? That's the thing. That's what you want, really, from a livery, isn't it? Something that just stands out from the crowd, and you're like, oh yeah, I recognise that instantly. Oh, that's not the incident that we don't want. Oh, there's a car in the middle of the road. It's one of the SimLab cars. There's a car on its roof. Oh, there's a lot of guys going down the order there. Trying to get to it, but yeah, failing miserably. Let's find the first person to crash. Was it possibly Craig Jones? Steve might have been. I think Jones hits the stationary car.
Yeah,
Steve Hefford's in there. Oh, Jones goes left to avoid it and hits Steve Hefford, who was hidden behind another car.
Oh, someone goes through the pits to avoid it. Oh, good call.
Yeah, nice bit of avoidance. Oh, one of the Automat cars gets sent for a wild ride there. I think that was Rob Graham. Martin Sampson was involved. Billy Rose has gone past it all. Adrian Hendy, I think, was the other car in there. And Christian Brown. Andy Maxwell in there too. Oh, and that was Luke Cooper going way out wide there. Sorry, I don't think it was Luke Cooper. It was one of the other... No, it was. I was right. Shouldn't doubt myself. Swift Cooper eSports car there. He got just a little bit of contact and off he went. There's Mikey Key chasing down Benjamin Mears for second place in the AM category. Cesare Rizzo is now in the race lead here, Alex, so he's done a great job to get back up to the front and overtake James McRitchie. Carl Jacquelette's still third, Baxter's up to fourth, Stevens is now in fifth position. As we look at this battle between the AMs. We were looking at the battle between the AMs. Once again though, we've got a fantastic snake of cars towards the front. SimLab car at the front, SimLab car at the back. Rizzo leads the way. Oh, well, a bit sideways there out the hairpin. That's going to help McRitchie. It's not the most ideal corner to have a go at someone like. He's going to line him up for the straight, I think, here, Alex, just to make sure that he's got the easiest job to do. Into the final corner then, on the brakes, making sure they don't dip a wheel on the grass on the left. Rizzo's a little bit out wide. They all carry the momentum through. There's a car with a lot of smoke pouring out of it in the pit lane there, unfortunately. Well, Carl Jacquelette's doing a great job at the moment just to stick it up there with those boys in third. Ashton doing the fastest lap of the race there, 2:06.1 in ninth position. Some of these guys opting for a very wide line to try and keep the momentum, while Jacquelette plays it nice and clean on the inside, actually staying on the track. But Stephen Baxter's really looking aggressive here. The number 25 machine. I don't know if he's been assigned a number actually, because I think he was number 4 in the last race. Yeah, Roy Ververke's number 4 now. I don't know who's normally number 25, but we'll figure that out at some point. Nearly 4 wide down the straight. Oh, that was a defensive block from McRitchie. That could have caused an incident. And Kip Stevens, you know, in the middle there, trying to take advantage of all this. It's so easy for some of these guys to just come through because of all the slipstream down that back straight. You can be in 5th and then come into the carousel and be in the lead at some point.
And these are the races where he needs to score sort of good points, you know, that reverse grid sort of helps him out a little bit. He needs to stay towards the front, stay in this battle. I know he likes to play it safe and keep getting those finishes, but I feel like he needs to stay in and around this top 5 gaggle to maintain that championship lead.
It really does.
Can I just say, I've seen something on social media that I think iRacing absolutely should include, that's been on another, I would say, racing title, and I don't want to go into too much detail with the channel that we're on as well, but it's a Lego expansion pack. Could you imagine Lego characters and cars running around on iRacing? I think that would be excellent. I want it. iRacing, make it happen. Feature request, please.
It'd be an incredible way to reignite the old Lego Racers games, wouldn't it? That'd be an absolutely belting little addition. It'd be like one of... Oh, that's Jack Ashton. Ashton is off and into the wall. Oh, and he nearly takes out his teammate Ashley Beard as well. Jamie Ayres is slowing down there as well. I think he got caught up in that. They might have just made contact as they came out of the hairpin. It's really split that train of cars up as well. But not the guys at the front. Let's have a look then. So Jamie Ayres is around the outside.
Just a bit of a squeeze. Going to be a bad camera angle for it, I'm afraid. Yeah, they just sort of got into each other, didn't they? No malice or anything like that. Just misjudged where each other were.
Ashton, right in the middle of the road there. Ayres does a good job to get around him, but real shame. But back to the front, McRitchie, Rizzo, and Baxter having a whale of a time here. Kip Stevens behind them with Nils Carstensen, Peter Van Gool. Carl Jacquelette down to 7th. There's Baxter and McRitchie made contact there. That was incredibly close to an accident. Real squeeze going on. Terry Turbo saying iRacing needs dynamic weather. It has it, my friend. You can choose whether it's on or off in a lot of hosted sessions, but it does already have it. I'm not sure whether you're on iRacing or not, but fair play if you're not. You went to know. Rizzo round the outside then. Pete Van Gool here, Alex. He's come out of nowhere, hasn't he, here, up to 3rd place.
as Pete often does, to be fair, you know, just sits there lurking in the background, and then suddenly he's having a great old race and great old battle.
Cracking job around the outside of Baxter.
I do like the blue Simlab car as well. You know, I'm not biased with blue colours or anything like that.
No, but, I think I think it's the best looking of them. You're definitely right. Rizzo there with the green roll cage and wheels, door to door with Stephen Baxter. They're really having a whale of a time, these boys, aren't they? But McRitchie now at the front. He's just going to be hoping that these guys keep battling away behind him, and he can, you know, just try and keep some sort of gap to them. But with the slipstream, it's not as easy as that. No matter how hard people are battling behind you, it's, you know, it's just a natural occurrence, really, slipstream around Watkins Glen, isn't it? That back straight, especially in these things, it takes about 4 minutes to get down it, so it's massive.
At 5 of 8 as well, this race is ticking by, a serious race of knots, and we've pretty much got exactly the same as we had last time. Maybe it's even a little bit tighter. Let's have a look at the intervals. Oh,
Baxter.
well.
He got a hit from Van Gool, and around he goes. Well, that's a real shame, that, because he was doing so well this evening as well. And that's going to put him right to the back of the field. Baited has commented, saying it's weird watching a sim race without people missing the break-ins and the crashing. And yeah, this isn't Forza, my friend. iRacing is probably the most seriously taken sim of all, if I'm honest with you. People are incredibly good at this thing. Oh no! McRitchie scores the hole in one!
You were literally just asking for trouble there, Chaz.
No, I shouldn't have mentioned it. I shouldn't have mentioned it.
We just saw what happened there with Baxter, and then there we go. Normal service is resumed.
Oh, I've got my head in my hands. That was James McRitchie. Absolutely, just, well, he snookered him. He really did snooker him there. He just clipped the back of Cesare Rizzo under braking, and then it just unsettled the car over the crest. And he went flying into the side of, unluckily for them, his teammate Peter Van Gool. Now there's 4 Swift Cooper esports cars, if you count Kip Stevens, in the top 5 now, chasing down McRitchie. So he's definitely not safe here, Alex. He's got 3 laps to go anyway, so it's go time for these boys now. This is where they've got to start getting into the position they want to be in before the last lap, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be in the lead when you're coming onto the last lap. We often say that in this series, the amount of slipstream they've got, you're often not going to finish the lap in the lead, especially at somewhere like Interlagos, where we saw a lot of finishes that were a thousandth of a second apart. On board with Nils Carstensen then. A very clean white roll caged Swift Cooper esports car. He's got his teammate Kip Stevens just in front of him. Going back across to the left. Nils lifts a little bit, you can hear there, onto the brakes in turn 1. Now it's a difficult corner turn 1 at Watkins Glen, because there's a massive curve on the inside, so if you take too much of it, it'll chuck you out to the edge. But there's it's very positively cambered, so you've just got to sort of get the right balance, haven't you, really, Alex, of getting so tight on the inside that you make the most of the camber, but not hit that curve.
Yeah, it's weird, because some cars, you want to run it out wide and use all the extra momentum. It's far quicker, but then in others, it's worth, you know, just taking the sort of the normal line. As great from Niles as well. 2 places there. Yeah, and it seems like the MX5 you can do either or. So both drivers, what we saw there, you know, kept running extremely wide and still carrying good momentum and that. But yeah, Neil's getting the best of it and moving himself up and into that top spot. Good move.
Yeah, it was just nicely judged. Really nicely judged. Neat manoeuvre. McRitchie goes a little hot into the boot section there, and that means that Cherney is now up to 3rd place. Cherney, I think, in the first race gained about 21 or 22 places. In this one as well, he's gained 14, Jason Cooper's gained 10. Their teammate, Charlie Summers, has gained 36 positions. Ironically, the number of his car, well, now it's 35, because he's just lost the place down to 7th, but 35 places in one race. Abdelkir Al-Amri's gained 29. Brian Holmes has gained 25. What an incredible drive by those boys. And Kip Stevens is actually, and James McRitchie are where they started in 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah,
Mills now.
Not easy to do. Cherney up 14, that is good.
I was going to say, even just 14 places ago, Charlie Summers now number 36, up 36 places into 6th.
Oh wow, that is very impressive.
That's just incredible, absolutely incredible. I mean, I think I've said it before, if I went into one of these races and thought, oh, I'm starting, you know, like 42nd, I'll finish this in the top 5. Not a chance. you just laugh it off. But for these boys, it's a realistic goal, and that's what scares me about the talent that we see in this series. They're absolutely brilliant drivers, and that's why it's so close, I suppose. It's very similar to the British Touring Car Championship in a way that if you wanted to get the race results, you just get all the names on little bits of paper and just throw them in the air, and you never know how it's going to end up because of the talent. It's so close. And speaking of close, Cherney was very close to the back of hitting Cooper there, and McRitchie, as he went up the S's, he dived out at the last second. 2x2 down the straight. The Swift Cooper Esports cars, there's 5 of them in the top 6 against James McRitchie. You've got to really feel sorry for the bloke there, especially from that shot.
You could argue he's in the best position there, actually, because they're all trying not to trip over each other, but he can just absolutely go for it and not worry about, you know, the fact that it's his teammates that are around him, so just put his car in the most awkward place.
And then you've got some of the Excite cars coming in here as well. Carl Jacquelette's still up there. You've got Beard, Mears, McNally. McRitchie's still really fighting against these boys. He's not giving up, and I think I would have by now, but that's probably why I'm not as good a sim racer as some of these guys. Around the outside they go. He's been sort of forced out there. You've got Jason Cooper on the inside, Cherney in the middle. At the front is Nils Carstensen with Summers and Stevens behind him, line astern. Jacquelette's trying to have a go at Cherney. And you've got Ashley Beard side by side with Mears, McNally rounding out the 10. And then Nick McCarran's going to be laughing his head off, just keeping it safe at the back there, trying to get the championship points. They're 3 wide into the hairpin. That's Mears down the inside of Beard. I hope these guys don't change liveries anytime soon, because I'm just getting used to how they look, so I know who's who. Summers into the lead then. 41 places gained to lead this race. I'll tell you what, I really hope that he wins this. He's got 1 lap to go. He's got his teammates behind him, and I think, to be fair, if you're in his team and have the option to help him here, you just let him win it, because that's an incredible drive.
I agree. I think they should let him have it at that. I mean, I don't know if we've seen a 41 spots gained to get it. I mean, I know in BSR TC Sutton's made some impressive come through from the back, but I don't think it's ever been 41. I might be wrong. That's some drive. He's got to hold on to it, of course, and here is where it gets tricky down the back straight.
Yeah, indeed. He'll have his teammates working with him, though. Great scrap going on behind. Just a quick one as well. Max Bure, he's gained 26 places. He's up to 21st. Abdulkir Al-Amri's gained 29. Brian Holmes has gained 25. Charlie Summers is now shuffled down to 3rd, with his teammates making the most of the back straight. But he's on the inside of Nils Carstensen. And he's trying to be on the inside of Kip Stevens as well. But now, obviously, the roles reverse. Stevens on the inside now into the boot section. Then you've got Jason Cooper in 4th, Alex Cherney in 5th, so it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Kip, not for Kip Stevens, sorry, for Swift Cooper Esports. Sure, Kip would make the results 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if he could. Summers down the inside, he's saying, I am having this race win. Do not take it away from me. Gets back to 41 places gained. Nils Carstensen doesn't quite know where to go on his teammate there. And look at Summers really defending the inside. They might even still be scrapping with each other here, Alex. I mean, it might not look quite like it, but you never know. And Jason Cooper's going to be trying to shuffle Ashley Beard back so he can get that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Cherney, who's currently in 6th place.
Oh,
that was very late.
I was going to say they almost hit each other there ahead as well. But yeah, Beard, I think he's going to spoil the party.
Hopefully they can still get the 1, 2, 3. I'm really hopeful for Charlie Summers. All he needs to do now is just get this last corner right. Clips the apex nicely. Through he goes, and what an absolutely incredible drive by Charlie Summers. 42nd on the grid to win. That's an incredible performance. Kip Stevens 2nd, Nils Carstensen 3rd, Ashley Beard 4th, Alex Cherney is in 5th, his teammate Jason Cooper 6th. Benjamin Mears wins the AM category in 7th. And Carl Jacquelette in 9th. What a drive that is from Mears as well. 14 places gained. Well done. Mikey Key finishing 12th. That's an AM podium for him. Nick McCarron, more points in 11th. They'll be happy with that. But Charlie Summers, I don't really know what to say. I'm expecting a hell of a lot of clapping emojis in the chat or something, but that was just amazing. Really, really well put together performance.
Yeah, amazing. That's all you can say. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, honestly, there's no words. There are so many words you could say for good, like well done, but that was just. I'd like to say I've not seen that before. I've not seen anyone gain that many places. We've seen a couple of guys gain 20 or 15 to take a win, but to take 41 positions. I mean, he's not from where he started. Our timing screen, well, how I've got it set on my screen anyway, Alex, I'm not sure about yourself, but mine goes down to 39 visually. I have to scroll down for the rest of them, so he wouldn't have even been on my timing screen at the start.
No, yeah, same on, 32 I am, so crazy.
It's just
Still
incredible.
waiting for someone to cross the line, I'm not sure.
It's not Kip Stevens, is it?
No, it's not. Carl Hardy, I think. Yeah, problems for Carl.
Yeah, the front of that car, a lot more second-hand than the rear. Through the final corners, you can just see just how aggressive the camber is on these corners, especially in the MX5. Down the straight he goes, and he'll be getting out of that thing as quickly as he possibly can. And for the second time tonight, that will give us the race results, I believe.
Indeed it does.
Wonderful. So there you go then, very deserving winner. Charlie Summers, Kip Stevens second. Nils Carstensen makes it a Swift Cooper Esports podium sweep. Ashley Beard there, like Alex says, spoiling the party in fourth, with Alex Cherney in fifth and Jason Cooper in sixth. Benjamin Mears wins the AM category in seventh, ahead of James McRitchie eighth. Carl Jackalette is ninth, and Adam McNally rounds out your top 10. Nick McCarron is 11th, with Mikey Key in third. Charles Kellyman, another good performance there, fourth in the AM category, 13th overall. Brian Holmes is 14th, ahead of Abdul Kir Al Amri. He had a great drive in that one. Just checking how many positions he gained. 29, so what a drive. Peter Van Gool is 16th. Steve Hansford, is 17th. And Roy Viverke is in 18th. Joe McDonald is 19th, ahead of Luke Cooper, rounding out the top 20. Then it's Max Beret in 21st, with Dave Hampson 22nd. Scott Malcolm is 23rd, ahead of Christian Vigre. I'm going to keep pronouncing it like that until he tells me otherwise. He's 24th. Max Wright 25th. Steve Cooley 26th. Cesare Rizzo is 27th, Stuart Dick is 28th, Alex Rivette 29th, and Graham Sester rounds out your top 30. Then it's Craig Cameron, Stephen Baxter, Billy Rose, Jack Ashton, Liam Silkstone, Carl Hardy in 36, as we saw him coming across the line there. And all the cars that didn't finish, Jamie Ayres, David Ayres, Wouter Van Essen, Josh Rayfield, Jeroen Ursum, Andy Maxwell, Christian Brown, Dale Bennison, Martin Sampson, Adrian Hendy, Steve Hefford, Craig Jones, and Rob Graham. That means then, for the second time tonight, we will have the reverse grid wheel, which Alex will spin to determine the grid for race 3.
Straight to it. Pretty decent spin. 30th or full -2. What's it going to be? Oh, it is full -2.
So that will give us then. Carl Hardy would have been on pole. That's going to put Jack Ashton, championship contender, on pole position, ahead of Billy Rose, who had a pit lane start in that last one. So great for Billy to be on the front row. And importantly as well, Stephen Baxter will be third on the grid. So hopefully you can get a good result out of that one, with Craig Cameron fourth and Graham Sesford in fifth. So join me and Alex on the iRacing Esports Network in about 5-10 minutes time, and we'll bring you race 3 of 4 this evening from the BSR MX5 Pro Series. Don't go away.
the chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMeritt at the line.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and the iRacing Esports Network for the BSR MX5 Pro Series from Watkins, Glen. I'm Chaz Draycott alongside Alex Simpson in the booth tonight. And we're here for race 3 of 4. We've had 2 fantastic races so far, Alex, with plenty of battling and no major incidents. There was a bit of a pile-up out the last corner in the last one, but didn't take out as many cars as we were expecting, so that's always a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a almighty big one, couldn't it, at the end of the first lap, really? But no, relatively clear as far as it goes. We had a few other little ones through there. Just a lot of commentating, cursing going on, I think, in that. If we'd have kept our mouths to them and the chat hadn't have said some things, I reckon we'd have had a repeat of race 1. We tempted fate.
Yeah, that was a proper commentator's curse, that one. It was just as we discussed with someone in the chat that the racing was nice and clean. It wasn't something like Forza. Someone goes and absolutely pinballs it. I think it was Richie hit Rizzo into Van Gool. Sorry if I'm wrong, boys, but yeah, that was quite a time to do it. But the conditions, once again here, Alex, quite overcast, so they won't have to worry about tyre degradation so much. I mean, I know they're quite short races anyway, but the tyres can sort of feel very different at the end of even like a 15-20 minute race than they do at the beginning for sort of first couple of laps, really.
Go check the end of the session and it's up. They've advanced already. So yeah, like I say, just looks a little bit brighter out there, doesn't it? So yeah, I'll see if it makes much of a difference, really. Let's bring the grid up.
Jack Ashton on pole position then, championship contender alongside Billy Rose, second on the grid, Stephen Baxter third, Craig Cameron fourth, Graham Sessford is fifth with Alex Rivette in sixth, then it's Stuart Dickers in seventh and Cesare Rizzo eighth, Steve Cooley and Max Wright round out your top 10. Christian Vigra alongside Scott Malcolm on row 6, and then behind them we have Dave Hampson and Max Beret 13th and 14th, Luke Cooper's 15th, Joe McDonald 16th, then it's Roy Viverke, Steve Hansford, Peter Van Gool, Abdelkir Al Amri rounds out your top 20. Then very quickly, it's Brian Holmes, Charles Kellyman, Mikey Key, Nick McCarran, Adam McNally, Carl Jaccolette, James McRitchie, Benjamin Mears, Jason Cooper, Alex Cherney, Ashley Beard, Nils Carstensen, Kip Stevens, Charlie Summers, Liam Silkstone, Carl Hardy, Jamie Ayres, David Ayres, Wouter Van Esten, Josh Rayfield, Aaron Urson, Andy Maxwell, Christian Brown, Dale Bennison, Martin Sampson, Adrian Hendy, Steve Hefford, Craig Jones and Rob Graham rounds out your field of 49 cars for the third race tonight in the BSR MX5 Pro Series. And Billy Rose, unfortunately, starting from the pit lane again. So there's an empty space second on the grid, and they're away. Green flag flies. Plenty of smoke. And down the straight they go. Jack Ashton then has a bit of an easier job defending. Stephen Baxter, once again here, Alex, is right at the sharp end of things at the beginning of the race. Oh, there's a car off in the inside. Sessford around. That's Stuart Dick as well going down the order as well, unfortunately. I've just had a question in the chat. What's the difference between the green and blue? That is the AM and Pro categories. Basically, this season is split into 2. Alex bringing them up at the top of the screen there. Literally click of a button, boom, there you go. Ashton and Baxter then side by side down the straight.
Oh, that doesn't look good in the background.
No, there's a car rolling. Again and again and again. It's finally stopped. That was Alex Cherney. There's a couple of guys that they seem to have slowed down, actually. There's only about 4 or 5 involved in that by the look of it properly anyway. So very well behaved compared to what we normally see. Stephen Baxter then down the inside. What was the outside is now the inside on Jack Ashton, and Stephen Baxter takes the lead of the race, not for the first time tonight. Steve Cooley is 7th overall, leading the AM category ahead of Max Wright and Scott Malcolm. A couple of guys taking liberties there with the grass coming into the boot section. Third place there, Craig Cameron in the 101 car, just overtaking Cesare Rizzo. Behind them, oh, Alex Rivette, a little bit out of shape as he clips the grass through the right-hander. Filtering down now into the heel of the boot, one of the trickiest corners on the track, because it does actually, it looks flat when you're driving it, Alex, but it goes slightly downhill, and then the grip comes back to you when you're on the exit, because it goes back up a hill again. It's a bit of a strange one, isn't it?
I can't ever describe Watkins. It always feels like you get given a little bit of extra grip to play with, and then there's a couple of places where you've just got none, and it just bites you. So, but yeah, that's one of the tricky areas where you can roll it in a bit deep and let the car bite on the way out, or someone wide and off in the penultimate corner.
Yeah, Just caught that in the background there. The sun coming out slightly. There's a bit of a glint on the cars there through the last section. And then as they come down to turn 1, the cloud sets in again. You can see just the glints on the windscreen at least. iRacing doing a fantastic job of the reflections and the lighting as of late. Some of the recent updates have been brilliant. Very wide on exit there. That was Van Gool, Cooper and Beret. I believe Beret is driving for, I saw the name of the team in the Facebook group earlier in the week. I'm going to try and find it because I think it's like OSL H-Con Racing. Andy Maxwell set it up. Apologies if I'm wrong. It is OSL H-Con Racing. It's Wouter Van Essen, Max Beret, Christian Brown and Christopher Vigra and Andy Maxwell himself. But this battle for the lead is really raging now. Ashton, Baxter, Rizzo, they've got rid of Craig Cameron, who is under pressure from Dave Hampson. Alex Rivette's in there as well. Ashton runs wide through the well, the top of the boot, would you call it? What bit of your body would you say that would be if that's your foot, Alex?
That's like shin.
Yeah, let's just call it the shin. We'll call it the shin. I'm going to. I think I'm going to have to Google that later or during. It depends on what kicks off now. Rizzo down the inside of Jack Ashton. Ashton gives him plenty of racing room there, using the curb on the exit. Steve Baxter, though, he wants these guys to fight so he can try and gap them. But as we've said in pretty much both races so far tonight, not the easiest thing. Rizzo tries to get the cut back on Ashton. Oh, the car's a bit out of shape, though. It doesn't quite work for him getting on the power early. Real shame, though, because that would have been great to see him break through and make that manoeuvre stick. Steve Baxter there. Oh, he's got the 2 wheels on the grass on the exit. Rizzo's off as well.
Oh,
Ashton's going to be laughing his head off as he goes round the final corner. When he gets the lead of the race and he runs away with it, you can see the gap getting bigger there to Hampson. Oh, well, it's staying similar anyway. But real shame for Rizzo, in the wall hard there, and it's one of those corners, Alex. I mean, if you're in a GT car and you hit that curb and it bounces you out, it really does surprise you, doesn't it?
That's exactly. He's just gone over the lip, hasn't he? That's what's caused the problem. But yeah, literally 2 in 1. Thank you very much. Yeah, like you say, Ashton with a 1.5 second lead. So
yeah.
1.3. Sorry. So they have still got the draft on him though. So I think Hampson's got enough pace to be able to catch back up, and Baxter did survive, even though he did just run a little wide on that sort of final corner, trying to break the draft, but they've got enough momentum. It does look like it's raining in the background on my screen with the way the sky box looks.
Yeah, it seems to have a jagged edge to it, doesn't it? And it's just sort of suddenly been stretched downwards, unfortunately. Through the boot section, and you can just see the aggressive camber and oscillation of this circuit. It's one of my favourite words to use, that, especially seeing as I live near Alton Park. It's the kingdom of oscillation when it comes to motorsport. But Ashton now, though, sitting pretty at the top of the standings, and of course this is only going to help his championship fight, especially with Ashton and Baxter and Hampson scrapping in the background there. The Excite Energy iRacing car running away with it at the moment. But the slipstream, you've got to think, Alex, he needs to really get it nailed on the rest of the track, because if he doesn't quite get it done before they get onto that back straight again, then all his work's going to get undone. But this is a great pack of cars through the middle here, a lot of them side by side. Look at Carl Jacquelet. Just in front of him is Jason Cooper, Nick McCarron's there as well. Beret in the grey-blue car there, just in front of Nick McCarron. Al Amri is off wide on the grass. He doesn't spin it this time, he gets out the throttle. Oh, Beret across the front of McCarron there. Really aggressive stuff. These guys are not taking any chances. Through they go then to start lap 4 out of 8. Just getting to the halfway point of this race. Craig Cameron there, just in front of Max Wright. Brian Holmes going past him. Max Wright has Luke Cooper behind him there. As they go up the hill, there is Scott Malcolm, 9th place.
Got a bit of space from Malcolm as well, hasn't he? So just a fight for Am.
Steve Cooley there, just under pressure from Adam McNally now. third in the AM category at the moment, so he's still getting the podium, of course. Al Amri is the next challenger, only 2 positions back. 3 wide here, Charlie Summers. The sun comes out down the straight, and then you can see it goes in again as they get to the end of the straight, so the track will be nice and hot halfway down. Let's get a look at that. There's so many different overlaps there in that one shot. Don't know quite how it's going to end up when they come out of the carousel. And Karen down the inside. Oh, Beret's a bit out of shape there. He runs a bit wide on exit as well because of that. Nicely collected though. He did well not to lose it completely. Scott Malcolm coming under pressure now from Charlie Summers, who is in 10th place. Speaking of Summers, of course, he's gained 24 places in this one as well. He's the biggest mover here. Steve Hefford's gained 24 as well. But yeah, for anyone only just joining us, Charlie Summers won the last race by gaining 41 positions. Through the middle he goes. Oh, he's got a bit deep though. Malcolm gets on the brakes to avoid it. McNally, oh, Summers very sideways. How did he save that? That was a proper snap sideways from the MX5 there. You don't often see that. Usually they're quite sort of gradual slides, aren't they, in these cars?
Yeah, well collected. I mean, like I say, usually when they're that that out of shape, they're kind of done for. So
He must have just launched the wheel to the left.
I was about to say the only person I really know who can hold on to it when it's like that is this man. Some great drifts.
Yeah, Jack Ashton really does like getting the back end of that MX5 out.
Hampson goes purple.
Oh, I was just about to say, actually, it's the battle of the purple wheels and roll cages at the moment as well at the front, ironically. Jack Ashton with his purple wheels and roll cage, Dave Hampson chasing him down. The only difference is that one of the cars has a bit of white on it by the look of it, from distance anyway. Stephen Baxter, still up there as well. Of course, had an accident in the second race, unfortunately, knocking him down the order. Speaking of down the order, Christian Vigra, he's flying down, so is Charles Kellyman. So they must have had a coming together. 3 wide, Baxter through the middle and into the race lead. So you can stuff your purple roll cage. Oh no, he's been clipped! Hampson clips him going into the carousel. There was just a squeeze as they got into there and he got hit in the left rear corner. And it tipped him out to the left-hand side. Look at the speed he's got through the middle. Let's have a look who moves over on who. Oh, he just doesn't... I think Hampson turns in and Baxter just doesn't turn in as early as he expected, really, did he?
No. Yeah, I think he was trying to give a bit too much room on the inside. So it's unfortunate. I have to say, I think Hampson will take that. On the chin note, when the stewards look at it.
Here we go then, the purple roll cages and wheels once again back at it. Oh, really, really nice line from Ashton there. Hampson just a bit late on it, unfortunately. Runs a bit deep. You can just see the gap that opens up from just one mistake like that. And when the driving caliber is as strong as it is in this series, Alex, you can't afford that, can you? Not one single tenth.
Exactly, you know. The 10th just allows people back into the draft and things like that, and then that gives you an extra half a second a lap. So, you know, you need to mitigate those mistakes and losses as much as you can. But these guys look like they're away. Holmes now 5.6 seconds back, so best that he can hope for is a podium. Van Gaal's going to try and fight for that, of course. But yeah, these two at the front, they can go at it, knowing that they can make a little mistake here and there, and it won't cost them so dearly with just 3 laps to go.
One of the drivers to look out for as well. Craig Cameron doing a great job in 6th place at the moment. Max Wright leading the way in the AM category. So you've got an Excite and Sim Lab battle here, and then another one behind it in the form of Brian Holmes and Peter Van Gaal. Charlie Summers has now gained 26 places, so has Steve Hefford, so they're matching each other at the moment. 23 places, now 24. Craig Jones, he is in 24th place as well. And oh, James McRitchie's going down the order. He's lost a good few places there, actually, Alex. He's now 30th. As Ashton goes to the inside. Textbook stuff there into the carousel. Hampson tries to get the cutback though.
Yeah, not giving it up.
No, definitely not. 2 laps to go after this one, boys. Calm down. But they just want to make sure, though, that if they are overlapping and swapping places, that they work together here not to lose time to the guys behind them, because once they do get in the slipstream, I know it's 5 seconds at the moment, and they're way out of any sort of slipstream, and you never know, though. If you battle and even lose 1 second a lap, then, you know, that could open it up, definitely.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, they've got the time to have a little play and have a little fun. But yeah, they can't sit there and lose 2 or 3 seconds in one lap going side by side for the whole lap. That could bite them by the end of the race.
They've got to think as well. Van Gool and Holmes are also fighting behind them. Here's a little scrap further down. Joe McDonald, Bure in front of him, Rivette behind him. Steve Hefford in there as well in the black Simlab car you can see there with the bright yellow wheels. That is Carl Jacquelet in the year 1 car. His teammate Rivette at the back of this little train. Oh, that's Brian Holmes, and he's been clipped somehow by Max Wright, who's just driven into the stationary car. Really not sure how Max managed that. He might have gone ducked out of the way if he got blocked by another car or something. Here's Brian. Oh, is he going to clip? It was already out of shape. Max Wright lost it himself, actually.
Both. It's almost like there was oil on the circuit there or something, because both carbon copy of each other.
Yeah, I think Brian was already slightly out of shape getting on the power, and then when he dipped that right rear wheel onto the grass, it just really sent it around, unfortunately. Real shame there. I'm sure Max Wright will be glad that we showed that replay, though, just to show that he didn't just drive into the side of Brian Holmes at very slow speed. Hampson on the grass there, going down the straight. He wants to give Jack Ashton that much room. Side by side into Carousel. They've got another lap after this one. The gap is now 6.3 seconds to Pete Van Gool. Still side by side around the whole carousel. Still side by side into the boot section. This is great from these boys. Ashton there trying to get the cutback. Goes in deep. Gets the run on the exit. No grass for him on the exit either. And now once again he's side by side into the toe of the boot. Very difficult corner to get right. It's quite bumpy on the exit. And because of the different tarmac that there is, you can see how it's been sort of resurfaced over periods of time. Very tricky to get the power down.
And it is all about the exit there as well. Slightly wider line on the way in to maximise the exit speed so that you're not compromised going into this corner. Get that slightly slow. It's easy for drivers to have a look in there. So good from Ashton. Nailed the exit.
Yeah.
Like I say, I always find this corner really tricky as well, Chaz. Coming back on from the onto the cup circuit, just the sudden change in camber in the circuit really upsets the balance of the car.
Yeah,
and can get a bit oversteering. I think that's exactly what we saw with Holmes and Wright on that last lap.
And like a lot of corners, as you can see there as well, there's patches pretty much on the racing line where the test of time has been against them and it's worn the tarmac away. They've resurfaced it. And there's a lump just as you come out of that left-handed hairpin on the exit where it changes tarmac. And like I say, it really upsets it, especially in rear-wheel drive cars, as most cars are on iRacing. It can really upset them. And for the final time then, out of turn 1, Jack Ashton chasing down Dave Hampson. He's going to have a big slipstream from this because he's not right behind him as they come up the hill. I think Hampson might have lifted a little bit there because he's really onto the back of him already. See how he gets on. Pulls out to the left-hand side.
Massive overspeed's going to clear him. I'll tell you what, we'll go back onto the chopper because there's almost chance for Hampson to get back into the draft and maybe have another little look. Here he comes. Speed's been negated. Starts to close back in. We'd have to really send it around the outside if he was going to do it.
Just going to try and carry the momentum. Oh, so close into there. Into the boot section they go. Ashton a little bit deep. Hampson hugs the apex. This is going to be a properly close finish between these boys. Hampson weaving around behind him, just trying to prove the point.
It's extremely close for second in the AM category as well, between Cooley and Malcolm. Right now, they're having their own little tussle.
Jacquelet's dropped down the order as well. I think he was further up there earlier.
Yeah, Alan just got quite comfortable for the AM win. But final few corners then.
Still nothing in it between these boys. Hampson's going to push this right to the end, but I think, unless he makes a move in these last few corners, it's going to have to be a good one, because Jack Ashton it's not his first rodeo. Into the second to last then. They turn it in. They both carry relatively similar speeds through there. Hampson a little bit wider. Jack Ashton gets it done. Hampson's on the power a bit earlier. He's a bit wider on exit. And it's going to be side by side across the line here, Alex. I think he might just do it. It's just going to be Jack Ashton across the line. I tell you what, Dave Hampson, 10 out of 10 for effort. He couldn't have tried any harder there. It's going to be Luke Cooper in 3rd place, Peter Van Gool in 4th, Charlie Summers 29 places gained to finish 5th. Steve Hefford's gained 33 places to finish 14th. Fantastic drive from Steve. Well, that was another incredible race, and despite the accident going onto the back straight, it was a relatively clean one. Abdulkir Al-Amri takes the AM category win ahead of Steve Cooley and Scott Malcolm rounding out the podium there. Kip Stevens 13th, just behind those guys. You can see the field filtering their way through now. And there is your race winner, Jack Ashton of Excite Energy iRacing, fighting for the championship lead, and that is only going to help his chances. Doing some lovely donuts there with Charlie Summers. 29 places gained and 41 in the other race. Wow, what a night he's having, Alex?
Yeah, sorry, how many? 29. 29. I miss what you said. Jeez. Yeah. I'd say I'd just be loving it out there, you know? I mean, there's nothing like a bit of racing when, you know, you're doing a lot of overtaking. So
Yeah, exactly.
You just get buzzed, you'll be full of confidence and stuff like that, and you'll be sending it left, right, and centre in this final race again, I'm sure. Depending on what the reverse grid, of course, is. So might be small enough that he's only got a few places to get to the front. Who knows?
Well, if you do the maths, it's 70 places gained in 2 races. I don't think I've gained 70 places in my entire 4 years on iRacing.
That's crazy.
Just nuts.
For Hansford to cross the line. Problems for him. Just limping around. Right, and with that, I think we can bring the official classifications up. Oh, that was close.
It was very close. 29 thousandths of a second then between Jack Ashton and Dave Hampson. Luke Cooper rounds out your podium for Swift Cooper Esports. Peter Van Gool is 4th with Charlie Summers in 5th. Jason Cooper finishing 6th ahead of Adam McNally in 7th for Excite iRacing. Craig Cameron is 8th, Nick McCarran 9th. Abdulkir Al-Amri rounds out your top 10 for Asymmetric. Steve Cooley is 11th, Scott Malcolm 12th. Kip Stevens is 13th with Steve Hefford in 14th. Carl Jackalette is 15th ahead of Jamie Ayres. Max Beret is in 17th place with Roy Viverke in 18th. Alex Rivette is in 19th place with Joe McDonald in 20th. Carl Hardy 21st. Adrian Hendy, good result for him in 22nd. Craig Jones 23rd. Erin Ursum is 24th. Max Wright 25th after his incident earlier on, with Ashley Beard in 26th, Martin Sampson 27th. Then it's Benjamin Mears, Dale Bennison and Andy Maxwell rounding out your top 30. You can see the drivers that didn't finish further down the order. Oh, well, we will carry on. Rob Graham, Billy Rose, Charles Kellyman, David Ayres, Steve Hansford and Liam Silkstone is 2 laps down. He was followed then by the final set of drivers that were, well, more than 2 laps down, even further, after the incidents earlier on that we saw in the race. Brian Holmes, James McRitchie, Graham Sessford, Christian Vigra, Stephen Baxter, unfortunately, Niels Carstensen, Stuart Dix, Cesare Rizzo, Mikey Key, Alex Cherney, Wouter Van Essen, Josh Rayfield, and Christian Brown 8 laps down at the end there. So for the third and final time tonight, we will have Alex's probably favourite part of the of these broadcasts is the reverse grid wheel.
Oh, you know me well. Of course, we're not taking bribes these days, so it's not as good as it used to be. This will be the bit that I missed the most. Of course, for those that don't know, I won't be back for the rest of the season. Tyler Maxons will be taking over the broadcasting role. So yeah, Tyler that's going to be spinning the wheel. But yeah, final time for some time then for me. Here we go.
And I do apologise, everyone. You are stuck with me still, don't worry. That was sort of an apology and also a bit of good news in one, so take what you can from that.
Well, I have to say, I've sent it out on an absolute big one as well. 50 is the reverse grid.
Get in. Steve Hansford will be on pole position. David Ayres alongside him. Charles Kellyman will be 3rd on the grid. Billy Rose, another good reverse grid for him. In the 444 car, he'll be 4th on the grid. Rob Graham will be 5th. So essentially, it's a 35-car reverse grid. And if you join Alex and I for the final race of the evening, in about 10 minutes' time on the iRacing Esports Network. We'll be going under lights at Watkins Glen. Don't go away.
chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and Apex Racing TV. And Watkins Glen for the final final race tonight of the BSR MX5 Pro Series. We've had 3 races so far. Fantastic to watch. I'm Charles Draycott alongside Alex Simpson on the cameras. And just to quickly run you through the grid for this final race, we've got Steve Hansford on pole, David Ayres, Charles Kellyman, Billy Rose, Rob Graham, Andy Maxwell, Dale Bennison, Benjamin Mears, Martin Sampson, and Ashley Beard, the only pro driver in the top 10 here, Alex. It's going to be interesting to see whether any of the other pro guys can make it through to catch him there, because he's looking like quite a favourite for me at this point.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, to be honest.
And of course, under lights as well. A bit of added pressure for the drivers.
I wonder what it's like around Watkins actually at night. I've never driven the circuit at night. Should be interesting.
Should be indeed. The lights are coming on then. And away they go. The lights were not on red for very long at all. Steve Hansford leads them away then. David Ayres and Charles Kellyman chasing him down.
Oh, a couple of crashes already in the background, I think.
Yeah,
Maxwell and Rob.
A couple of cars coming together even down the straight. David Ayres hangs it out around the outside, takes the race lead. Nicely done, brilliant sky in the background there, looking wonderful. And it's the teammates of Hansford and Kellyman going up the S's. The latter coming under pressure from Rob Graham.
Oh, that does look good.
It's absolutely belting, doesn't it, as they come up the hill. You can see though, because of the clouds actually, it's quite a bit lighter other than that. If it wasn't for the clouds, it probably wouldn't be that dark. We've got 3 wide down the straight. Ashley Beard's already gained 4 places here, Alex. He's flying. He's nearly making it 4 wide. 3 wide into the carousel. He's on the inside, literally on the grass. He's taking that much of the apex. Steve Hansford leads the way. David Ayres second. Andy Maxwell 3 places gained up to 3rd for OSL HCon Racing. So close for all these boys as well. The lighting looks fantastic, of course. So bright with the entire field just lighting the way. There's nobody, I think, that's single file in this, really. Everyone absolutely going for it, trying to take every opportunity, but you have to in these reverse grid races. You need to get to the front of the field as quickly as possible, especially if you're one of the pro drivers. But looking at that shot there was amazing.
Just those couple of stragglers then. I'm seeing on the event view a couple more crashed. Christian Brown and Stuart Dick. Let's have a look and see what this was. Jump back to live very shortly after that. Oh, just going into the toe there. Oh, coming together.
It's the stationary car does the number 18 machine. Christian Brown, Rob Graham there second place now. It's very quickly showing that Stuart Dick has jumped back to the pit lane, so it's actually putting him at the front of the field on our timing screen currently. There you can see on the left. There he is. He's going to go flying down the order now. Oh, McNally out of the race as well. He's in the pit lane. 3 wide for the lead. Oh, Rob Graham out of the race, into the wall he goes. There was a bit of a squeeze. Oh, there's more cars off at turn 1 here, Alex. We've had quite a couple go around.
Yeah,
people have been collected. Ashley Beard. Who else is that in there? That was one of the year 1 cars.
Just trying to see if I can get some of it on replay.
There they are at turn 1 then. Oh, someone's gone very wide there.
That was a separate incident. So, yeah, the event viewer not helping me out here.
No. That was Christian Vigra going very wide. Oh, there's the touch from Ayres to Graham.
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a big off for Martin Sampson, and he just comes back on the track, and people can't really avoid him. It's just how easy it is to do at the end of the straight there into turn 1. Ben Mears there leading the way. Wow, big send down the inside from Hansford. Ayres is wise to it though. Hits the apex, and he's got a good run actually out of there, chasing down Benjamin Mears. Rizzo's going down the order as well. Oh, there's a crash further back by the look of it. There's a couple of guys going down.
Yeah.
His car backwards there. Carstensen doesn't even slow down. The number 33 is backwards as well. They're not holding it on the brakes. They need to hold the car on the brakes and just keep it out of the way. Oh, that rejoin. Who was that?
Yeah.
That number 33 car. That was not on.
Fortunately, the camera angle was poor, so we didn't really see it from what I was looking at. But yeah, you could tell what was going to happen in there. Yeah, just They're just frantically just trying to get back to the circuit. I know it's a gut reaction to do that, but yeah, they do need to remember that, you know, that they're already involved in the crash. Don't take other people out at the same time, you know?
Shame to see, really, because the racing tonight has been absolutely top-notch. There are obviously incidents in these reverse grid races, so it's to be expected sometimes. It's not the easiest thing to do. Benjamin Mee is now under pressure from David Ayres. David late on the brakes into turn 1. Nicely done. Oh, last minute dive there from Hansford. So close together, Amias and Ayres there. Slight overlap still, so he's not quite got the job done yet. Kellyman is there in 4th as well. He'll be urging his teammate on to go and get further up the order.
Now they're already in the waiting for interview channel. Does that mean he's out? I think it does. Should we drag him in for a mid-race interview? Or not? As he runs off. Seem to have lost Chaz for a moment. So we'll continue just watching this battle at the front. Mears, Ayres, Hansford, Kellerman. 1.7 seconds separate that little group to Steve Hefford. Your owner, some Charlie Summers there, up 24 spots already. It's been an absolute ridiculous meeting for him in terms of how many places he's overtaken. Hefford up 17 as well, doing well. Ashton up 24. Biggest mover actually is way down. I think Mikey Key at the moment, 26 spots, so impressive from Mikey. Oh, the lead battle changing again. Mears goes up the inside. Ayres just leaves enough room on the exit so they don't come together. Hansford still looking. Kellerman trying not to lose touch with this little pack. Hefford firmly onto the back of it as well. He was nearly 2 seconds down at the start of last lap, so been a phenomenal lap from him. Still no Chaz for the moment, so apologies. Stick with it. As Hefford having a little look on Kellerman. They're all going to draft up together here. I think you might see they're all quite that nice sort of distance apart where we see sort of maybe 2-3 wide at the end of it. But Steve gets an absolute phenomenal run very, very early. So he goes wide, already 3 wide. Is he going to have enough momentum to get up to the back of Ayres? Might. One of the cars pulls out as well. It's Mears in front of him actually, gives him a bit of a helpful bit of slipstream. Can't quite clear all of them around the outside of the carousel. David Ayres back to the lead. Left with the inside going through the chute. Here's Kellerman to the outside. Charlie Summers now getting involved in this battle, up 26 spots for him now. Jack Ashton up 28. They're still battling it at the front as well. Nothing between this group. The largest gap here in this group is 1.4 seconds, and that is James McRitchie and Al Amory, and that's for 12th and 13th. Everyone else is less than 1 second apart. Gaps as low as, well, you can see them on screen, hundredths of a second at the moment.
I'm back now, Alex. I do apologise for that.
That's all right.
Technical difficulty with the headset then. Just had a random disconnection and then had to reinstall it. Brilliant. Benjamin Mee still holds on, I see. Charlie Summers and Steve Hefford now involved.
Yeah, Hefford's been coming through nicely. Good pace.
Charlie Summers again, 29 places. What?
I know, it's crazy. He's just full of confidence here, clearly. And got a fantastic run on Mears here. I think he'll probably be in the lead by the time we get to the start-finish line.
How's he doing it?
Hefford having a look. I don't think he's going to have it his own way though this time, that's for sure. Hefford certainly going to give him a run for his money. Gets by Mears as well. Mears, of course, will get slightly better run though, so he's perhaps got the opportunity to put it under a bit of pressure. Maybe that will allow of them that's just to break away ever so slightly. Last thing these guys want. It's just been absolutely on it.
Yeah, it really has. Just a quick look through the field at the people that have gained places. Alex Cherney's gained 23, Josh Rayfield 27, Stephen Baxter 24, Dave Ampson 21, James McRitchie 24, Jack Ashton 30, Charlie Summers 29, Steve Hefford 21. It's just incredible drives from some of these guys to make it through the field. Obviously there has been accidents, but even still, there's not been that many cars crashed. So, you know, you've still got to make the moves and take the opportunities, as we were saying before. Hefford now in the lead. You can see on the left the positions gained by these guys. It's incredible stuff. Great figures. And Charlie Summers now back down to third. Benjamin Mears doing a great job leading the AM category at the moment, second overall in the race. As it gets darker and darker here, Alex, the last couple of laps, the pressure's really on now, and oh, Hefford's very wide out there. He's going to have to get off the throttle as well as to not spin the car. Mears will be under pressure from Summers here, and personally I'd love to see Summers take a win here. It'd be great for him to get a second one with so many places gained.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really feature in the first race, did he? I don't know if there was a little accident or something like that, because of course he hit the wall, didn't he, while his teammate was celebrating at the end. So he was way down, and that's what gave him the opportunity to have this massive comeback. So I think we don't know his relative pace against these guys, you know, and he's up against the quickest ones from race one, so you know his work cut out. But of course he's got there. But you know, Hefford up 21, Ashton up 31 at this point as well. So you know, the experience, the cream rising to the top at the minute.
Certainly does. Down the straight they go then. Steve have a little bit of a gap there at the moment. Just got to be so careful to make the most of every corner here. Mears going down the order. Mears is in the wall on the outside. He backs it into the wall to get it out of the way. That's the AM category lead taken away from him. Let's see what happens. Into turn one.
On his own.
He's just hit the curb and upset the car. Oh wow, Ashton did a great job not to hit him there. But that's a real shame for Benjamin. I thought he was already in the wall actually. I thought he backed it out. It was just the car rolling back once he'd almost come to a stop.
And good for him as well, because he didn't try and crazy rejoin or anything like that. It was just patient, controlled the car in that spin enough to allow him to be able to rejoin pretty quickly. Like you say, unfortunately he has lost the lead in class, but he's still out there fighting.
He certainly is. He doesn't give up, does Benjamin Mears. He's one of the feistiest drivers on the grid in my opinion. Great driver to watch. We've got McRitchie now chasing down Scott Malcolm. This will be for 11th. Oh, and that's a damaged, very damaged SimLab car, I believe. That might have been Nick McCarron.
I think it is Nick. Yeah.
He'll be trying to get the points though by still getting the car to the end. Great commitment. Here is Ashton then, under pressure now from Charlie Summers. You can just see how many places these guys have gained. Ashton and Summers flicking between 33 and 28 each. Steve Hefford 21. Stephen Baxter 28 as well. He's had a great comeback to the series tonight, to be fair, Alex. He's not got all the results he wanted, but he's certainly shown he's got the pace in the car.
Yeah, 100%. You know, looking extremely strong. Oh, look how dark all of a sudden it seems to have got. Of course, we know the time has advanced quite considerably for the session, but yeah, it does make a heck of a difference.
Yeah, it really does. And those bright yellow wheels and roll cage of Steve Hefford really
they line up the whole track. They are.
Indeed,
Who needs headlights when you got Hefford's yellow, luminous yellow around? Well, I have to say, the greens seem to be popping just a little bit more in the background.
You read my mind just then. I saw that and I was thinking, wow, that really is bright of Charlie Summers. But now, is his move going to be as bright here? He's got to think about this. He's around the outside of Ashton. He's got a great run. He's going to be ahead of Ashton. He's going to leave him the room to come out, though. From behind Steve Hefford. They're 3 wide-ish? 2.5 wide? 3 wide into the carousel. They're doing the same behind them as well. Ashton in the middle, Steve Hefford on the inside. Oh, Hefford turns in late, but he's got the corner. He runs out a little bit wide, to be fair, and Charlie Summers is still having a go. Cuts over to the right-hand side in front of Ashton. Kellyman's in there as well. He's had a great night tonight. I believe he got a podium in his first AM race this evening. Oh, Charlie Summers on the grass. Oh, there's contact with Hefford there. Hefford comes over to block, doesn't realise there's still the overlap. Summers is still down the inside. Hefford's gone in deep. Ashton goes down the inside as well. Takes the opportunity. Great stuff from Ashton there to identify that. He's going to make the move.
So Ashton will get the better run, but of course Hefford has the slipstream, so pretty much evens itself out.
Ashton really late on the brakes, goes for the race lead and gets it. Is Summers going to get the cutback? He can't do it. Hefford's got a bit of an overlap. He's weaving around behind them. Down the inside he goes now, down on the brakes on Charlie Summers. Summers suddenly finds himself in third place.
Kellerman
Really
right back with these guys as well, so and actually coming behind them. Got a little trio as well, so...
Oh, McRitchie, I think, has just been disqualified in the background. I think he's hit his incident limit. He went red on the timing tower.
Yeah, he has, dropping down.
Real shame for James McRitchie there.
Final lap of the evening then coming up.
He's not at the best of nights tonight as James McRitchie, unfortunately. But there is Charlie Summers then in third place. Hefford doing a personal best that time round of a 2:08.2. But the other guys doing 2:07.6s and 2:07.9s, and they're not their best laps, so they've definitely got the pace on Steve Hefford at this point. You can see Summers here playing the game. Slipstream. He's just trying to make sure that you get the best run, don't compromise it, because he's got to think about if he does get past Steve, he's got to then chase down Jack Ashton in the race lead, of course. But look at the overspeed they've got. There's another car on track in front of them as well. Can't quite see who that is at the moment, but he's going considerably slower than him. It looks like it might be a Swift Cooper Esports car. Hefford on the inside of Ashton.
Oh, it's Kip.
It is Kip Stevens out of all people as well. It's Kip Stevens in front of these boys. He gets out of the way. He goes onto the club circuit. Great avoidance. Now Summers side by side with Hefford. I think there's still a Jack Ashton on our left. There is. You can see the purple roll cage in the rearview mirror. This is fantastic close racing by these boys. Hefford covering the inside now into the toe of the boot. Summers is considerably later on the brakes, but doesn't make contact behind them. It's Kellyman side by side with Bure. Hefford still holding on to this lead, and I tell you what, Alex, if he can cover these last few corners, you never know. Although, to be fair, in the last race it was very close across the line then as well, just because of a run out of the final corner. Summers late on the brakes, runs a little bit wide. Ashton just avoids the contact, slots in behind him. Summers goes over to the right, dives to the inside. He's late on the brakes, doesn't make contact with Hefford.
Yeah, Hefford having to defend there as well. And a slow exit, of course. Ashton will have a quicker exit, does dart out as well. Can't quite get the overlap on Summers there, so it's all or nothing final corner.
Got to watch Kellyman here as well, of course. He's in fourth place, watching this all unfold. Steve Hefford's got to get a good run off here now. And it doesn't look like he's got as good a run as Jack Ashton has. Charlie Summers comes across to defend. It's going to be Steve Hefford takes the final race win of the night ahead of Charlie Summers, Jack Ashton, Kellyman in fourth, Bure in fifth. Those two making their debuts tonight, both doing personal best on the last lap. Great evening for those guys. Very well done, boys. Kellyman, of course, taking the AM category win. He'll be very happy with that. David Ayres finishes 6th overall, 2nd in the category, and Hansford is 7th overall, 3rd in the category. So great result for those guys. And they'll be really enjoying that. 3 wide across the line there between those boys. Let's have a quick look at what the gap was there. Apparently it was thousandths of a second between Cooper and somebody else. I think it was Mears. And he was side by side with Cherney coming across the line here in 27th position. Ashley Beard is going to come across the line in 28th, so not the best result for Ashley in that race. Quite a lot of retirements in that one, but once again, Alex, another frantic and entertaining night's racing from the MX5 Pro Series. Those smoke effects look brilliant then with the headlights on them.
Yeah, I agree. Fantastic night. I was a little bit gutted. Was it race 2 or 3? It was a bit scrappy, but everything else really, really good out there. Some fantastic battling racing. Yep. Yeah,
and with such a big field as well, to be fair. We often see in a lot of sim racing events that, you know, bigger grids, while there are more people and more stuff to watch, it can cause a bit more chaos. You know, if there's a pile up at the front of the field, more people can go ploughing into it. Arca breaks, as we call it. But yeah, it was very well managed from the drivers at the front. They played the wise game in terms of being strategic about their positioning and, you know, when to go for the move and when not to go for it. Driver of the night, though, for me, it's got to be Charlie Summers for that 41 places gained race win. Then he gained 30 in the other one, and then 29 in this one. It's incredible, isn't it?
Oh, just you can't argue with that. It's just unbelievable driving. For some
Really
reason,
is.
we're waiting for someone to cross the start-finish line. I'm not sure who it is.
It's not Kip Stevens, is it?
Oh, well, there we go. Doesn't matter now. Session has timed over.
There we go. Steve Hefford then takes the race win, just a tenth of a second ahead of Charlie Summers. Jack Ashton rounds out the podium. And it's a very appropriate podium as well. SimLab, Swift Cooper Esports and Excite iRacing. Charles Kellyman, 4th place. Very well done to him. Max Burray in 5th. He'll be happy with that result. David Ayres in 6th in car 666. Steve Hansford in 7th place. Dave Hampson in 8th in car 888. Steve Baxter in 9th with Carl Jacquelet in 10th. Craig Cameron is 11th with Scott Malcolm in 12th. Abdul Kir Al Amri is in 13th place with Uranus in 14th. Joe McDonald 15th. Roy Viverke 15th. Josh Rayfield for Northern Lights Racing is in 17th. And Craig Jones for Result Clothing is the 18th placed finisher in that one. 19th place is the Swift Cooper Esports driver, Luke Cooper. 20th goes to... Just have a quick look.
Sorry.
My timing screen's done that thing where it's gone all out of order. 20th is Benjamin Mears. Then it's Wouter Van Essen in 21st. Billy Rose 22nd. Liam Silkstone 23rd. Then it's Rob Graham, Carl Hardy, Steve Cooley, Alex Cherney, Ashley Beard, Alex Rivette and Nils Carstensen rounding out your top 30. Then it's Cesare Rizzo, Graham Sesford, Mikey Key, and then the car's one lap down or more. Nick McCarron, Kip Stevens, James McRitchie. 37th was Jason Cooper. Then it's Brian Holmes, Andy Maxwell, Jamie Ayres, Dale Bennison, Adrian Hendy, Martin Sampson, Max Wright, Chris Vigra, Christian Brown, Adam McNally, Peter Van Gool, and Stuart Dick. It's a massive field tonight, Alex. Like we say, it was certainly a packed circuit, wasn't it?
Was 49 car. Yeah, I mean, I know we often see numbers drop off a little bit towards the end of like the sort of the mini seasons and that, and this was round 1, so to see it be up there. But usually midway through the big series, we don't actually see any sort of new faces and things like that. So it's good to see actually 49 cars. Let's hope we can maintain that throughout the season.
We've got a
Which
comment
fancy?
Oh, well. Oh, you mean in the interview waiting area? Let's have a look.
Yeah, I wasn't just genuinely asking.
Well, we've got 4 people who would be very happy to chew our ears off for half an hour. So either way, we're going to be here till probably 11 o'clock. He's probably got the biggest list of sponsors that you know of. It's Adam McNally for Excite Energy iRacing. Adam, how are we?
How's it going?
Well, that was it was fun to watch. Chaotic evening. I know you didn't quite get the result you wanted in that last one, but how was the night overall for the guys?
It was a good night. A devastating night for Bry. Loads of incidents, but 1K was really fast at the track. But I mean, the first 3 races I was in, that was just epic. Probably the best race we've had in a very long time.
We were saying that about race 1 as well. It was incredible to watch. There was only like 1 or 2 guys really fell off, no major incidents, and the train of cars from like 1st to 12th was just really consistent. Was it fun to be a part of?
Yeah, it was. It was great, but I got a little bit front end aero damage, and I was struggling on the straights. But it was good fun. I was quite surprised when I come across the line in 3rd.
It's a good result to end up with. It's one of those, isn't it, where when you're in the battles and slipstream in and everything down there, you sort of gain positions naturally without realizing sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And then you lose them just as easy. And you'll watch 1, 2 go past and swings and roundabouts. But it made for some great racing. Like, honestly, some of the best racing, like I said, we've had in a really long time.
Yeah,
Jack was on fire, race 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, he really, really was, and obviously it helps his championship fight as well. He's right up there in the standings for the Pro Series.
Oh, definitely. I think he might even be top now. It was a shame race 2. He got some damage. I think got spun round. Otherwise, I think he would actually be leading the championship.
Well, we come to the part of the broadcast where I always forget what track we're at next. Do either of you know, Alex, Adam?
No.
We'll have a look. I always forget, but hopefully we can find out. Let's have a quick check. I'm just going to see whether we have... There is a spreadsheet for it, so I'm going to have a look. Le Mans?
Oh, yeah.
Dear. Well, there's no Bugatti circuit on iRacing, so It's going to be the full one. How do you feel about going there? That's going to be slipstream heaven.
I was about to say, we thought this was a slipstream circuit.
Yeah.
Not passing judgment. All you can hope is you don't lose that toe. You lose that toe, that's it. You'll never catch them back up.
Or you get front end damage.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be key to keep your car clean.
Indeed. Well, hopefully you can do just that, mate. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, you guys for doing the broadcast, everyone behind the scenes, to our main sponsor, Excite Energy, to Motorsport Days Live, the Pre-O Premature Baby Foundation, Racer Mentor, LuxSim24, and ER12 Gaming.
Smashing stuff. Good to speak to you as always, Adam. Thank you very much. And
Right, thanks,
we will
Alan.
speak to you next time.
I'll catch you next week.
Adam McNally of Excite Energy iRacing there. Someone has popped up in the interview waiting area, Alex, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me that it's about time we do bring him in. Charlie Summers. Charlie, that was absolutely amazing to watch. How did that feel, getting 41 places to get a win?
Wow. I mean, when I have situations like this, it happens every now and again, just unfortunate, where I have a really decent start in race one and then something ends up happening. I end up falling down the order. And then I end up all the way down the grid and I just sort of chuckle to myself. It's like, that's fine. I'll win this one. And thinking about it, this is the first time it's happened from this far back. I don't think I've won anywhere outside of the top 15, top 10.
Yeah.
It's usually fairly sedate in the races that I tend to do well in. I tend to not make up too many positions, stay fairly consistent, just keep it clean. But I think it was a fair bit of luck in that there were quite a few crashes on my way up that I managed to avoid.
Yeah.
And the draft here is easily worth a second and a half a lap.
Yeah, it's ruthless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it was great to watch. I mean, me and Alex were watching the positions just keep counting up and up, and we thought he is going to win this. And then you got into the lead, and obviously, it wasn't the easiest though, because like you say, the slipstream, it keeps people in the fight, doesn't it, around here?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's easy to catch up, but then equally it's hard to break away. Once you're in the pack, you're just sort of there with everyone else. So yeah, I was thinking that going into the final lap, I just wanted to lead that one lap, which is why I sort of tucked up the inside of Mr. Carstensen on the second to last lap. I just went, if I can lead one single lap after coming up from 42nd, I'll be happy. Then in the end, I led two, and it was the important one as well.
Indeed. Well, Alex and I were saying that because you had your teammates around you as well, obviously, we were hoping that you guys would be communicating over Discord and, they'd let you take the win because of how much of a driver it was. Was that the case, or were they just going to fight you to the line?
Looking at it, I think there was a fair bit of fighting. We tend to just take it fairly easy around each other, but I don't think we're just going to roll over and let someone take it.
Yeah, that's understandable. Well, it was a hell of a performance to watch, mate. I think out of races 2 and 3, you gained something like 70 positions, and we don't often see stuff like that, and so very well done from all of us here, because that was just epic to watch.
Cheers, guys.
We've got Le Mans next week. How do you feel about going there?
Another draft track.
Yeah, well, a very, very big one at that as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Be interesting to see how the MX5 gets on, won't it?
It'll be very interesting. I've just come off the back of racing the LMP1 at Le Mans, so that's going to be a hell of a change of pace.
Yeah, they really will be down them straights. You'll be thinking, God, are we there yet?
Yeah, maybe do some knitting, do a crossword. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully it goes well for you, mate. Is there anyone you're going to give a shout out to before you go?
Of course, I'd like to say a big shout out to all my team over at Swift Cooper Esports. All of our sponsors. We've got our good friends Swift Cooper and our co-team Rensport, who we have Nils and Alex representing. Very, very good drivers, very, very quick drivers. And all round, a very good group of guys.
Smashed him. Well, great to speak to you, mate. It's been a very long time coming, and what time to do it. So well done on your results tonight, and we'll hopefully speak to you next time.
Yeah. Cheers all. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Incredible performance by Charlie tonight, wasn't it, Alex? He's such a chill guy as well. It's like I'd be bouncing off the walls after that, but he just takes it in his stride.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, exactly.
It's awesome to see. Should we grab one more very quickly?
Yeah,
And,
one more. Who you
see what we've
fancying?
got. Well, we've had two guys from the other main team, so we'll bring Carl in. Carl,
Good
how was that
evening.
for you tonight, mate?
Well chuffed tonight. Really chuffed. 4 good races. Really good races. Very happy.
Looked like a lot of fun as well, plenty of action, and obviously the slipstream was the main talking factor. It sort of kept everybody in the fight throughout the race. Did you find it hard to keep the places once you made them, or was it just a case of make it on the twisty stuff to then take advantage of the slipstream?
The slipstream here is really difficult. My tactic for tonight was just to be the highest AM scorer, so I wasn't really racing the pro guys as hard as I could have done. Quite a lot of the time I was just letting them go, but then I kept catching them up again with that slipstream. So it was a fairly easy night, actually.
Yeah, fingers crossed that can continue for you. At least if an easier life is a better one, I suppose. But we were just talking to the other guys about the fact that we're going to Le Mans next week, and if there was a lot of slipstream here, there's going to be bucket loads of it there.
Le Mans is going to be like the old Monza race, 1973, was it? Peter Gethin, closest finish ever.
Yeah.
It's just a slipstreaming battle the whole way. I can see it's going to be like that. It's going to be tricky not to get caught up against someone. These cars are very easy to turn because of the shape of the curved shape and the front and rear. So you're going to have to keep your head clean, keep clear of everyone, and not really push it too much because you're going to get back with the slipstream.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, those last few chicanes as well, last lap dives, people making little desperate moves. It's going to be a bit chaotic, isn't it?
It's going to be fun, isn't it? I'm quite looking forward to it. I did the 24-hour race the other week. Although we didn't finish, we blew the engine at 4 a.m. But no, looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it should be good, mate. Well, hopefully it goes well for you. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Big shout out to Year One. Fabulous flip-flops. I've got a pair right next to me here. They really are good. If you haven't got any, you need to get some. And of course, you can always use Jackalette42 in checkout for a 10% discount.
Cracking stuff. Well, Alex and I keep saying that we need to get some, so I think we ought to get that onto that, don't we, mate?
They
Well,
are
that's
good.
If we're going to get a summer this year, that is.
Well, yeah, true.
Well, yeah. Well, I live in Bournemouth. It's always summer here.
Oh, I'm going to have to move. Well, good to speak to you as always, Carl. Thank you very much for your time tonight, mate, and all the best for next week.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for the commentary. Great job,
Smashing.
guys.
Cheers, thank you.
Good night.
Great to speak to Carl Jackalette there. Of course, Year One Racing, and don't forget, as he said, use Jackalette42, and you can get a discount on the Year One flip flops. And I've seen a lot of Facebook posts on them, Alex, and they do really look belted. Actually, to be fair, don't they? They're very vibrant.
Yeah, it's good to see that they're supporting the community, giving out some discount codes and stuff like that as well. That's what we like to see. Proper
Yeah,
sponsorship, that is, as well. So, and I'm hoping Carl gets a little kickback as well from that. Some affiliate links and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Oh, why? It's all about giving, like you say, the community, sharing the love. Speaking of, pleasure to work with you again tonight, of course, mate. And obviously, this will be the last time for a while, won't it?
Yeah, it will do. Just be here for cover, really, and then Tyler taking over as the broadcaster. So it should be interesting. Hope he does a great job, and you guys are as welcoming to him as you were to me.
Brilliant stuff. Well, thank you everybody for watching tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you the action from Watkins, Glen in the BSR MX5 Pro Series. Of course, I'll be here next week on Tuesday night at the same time with Tyler Maxson to cover the race from Le Mans, which will be an absolute belter. Thank you again to the iRacing Esports Network for having us, and thank you for everyone for tuning into Apex Racing TV. We have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you next week.